Okay, so finally, today has been a rush through. Okay, but we are finally here. And if you have any questions, just be rest assured that we are going to answer all of them. Okay, and I just hope that when you get here, you're able to share this in the group so that the rest of the group can actually get to, yeah, I think that's much better. That's much better. Okay, with my Mushaino today, we get to start this episode. And I was actually welcoming the transformers. I will call you transformers. Welcome, and feel at family, at home. There's a lot more that we are going to achieve together, and I hope that you give us a chance, or you give yourself a chance to achieve more than you have ever thought about. Okay, so when you get here, make sure that you share the this broadcast with the group back in in WhatsApp, so that they can know that we are here and that we can have a smooth journey together, learn together, and learn and be able to actually progress together. Okay, the things that we talk about is really to discover our passion, and then how to be able to market that passion, how to be able to position ourselves in the marketplace. Okay, how to be able to actually know that this is where we are supposed to be, and this is what works and this is what not works, or what doesn't work. Okay, so I want us to move together. And if you're here, JM Kakembo, yes, the Mushaino is extra. It is extra. And now you're telling me to go and get my brush and brush it and brush it off, but I'm not going to do that. I got into the house, and as soon as I got into the house, I just ran to just make sure that I come through with this live session. But my hope and my prayer is that we move along together, and that you're able to give me the questions. Okay, you're able to give me the questions, and then we are able to go through the questions together, and we are able to learn. Okay, that is what I want us to be able. So as I wait for at least 5 people to come on, so that we can start. Yes, I want to wait until we have a bit of a crowd, because most of the times I start without a crowd, and then we get to repeat ourselves as we go along. Okay, so I don't want us to repeat ourselves. If you get here, share this broadcast with as many people as you can. Okay, and then, yeah, you let them know that we are here, so that we can move together. Give us your name, give us where you're watching from, and then don't forget to also give us your question for tonight. We want to be able to get that and answer that. And also, don't forget to ask questions about leadership, because remember, the gladiator president actually posted something to do with Maxwell, the leadership segment, and we say that we will have a talk on Thursday to make sure that we answer most of the unanswered questions. So I am here for that. Let's do that very quickly so that we can know. Last time we talked about attitude. It was a very good session. This Saturday, we're going to have another session that is after Nancy's launch. And I believe that it's going to be a very brief session, but it's going to be a very fruitful session. And we are going to learn a lot more from that session, okay? So when you get here, make sure that you share with the group so that everyone knows that we are here, okay? And I think I already have my notes, so we can go on. And these darlings, I hope they don't reflect, okay? Okay, better. At least I can see you. So bring on the questions and let me know where you're watching from. Hello, Roy Hannah. Hello, Roy Hannah. Now, today on radio, I was actually talking about, I was dealing with the things that we should never let other people do in our lives, okay? The things we should never let other people do in our lives. And we were talking about never letting anyone drag you into their endless arguments and their endless drama. Jensa, good to have you. You're watching from Kampala. Nancy A, my main coach. Okay, I'm so excited about Saturday. And Kansime Joy Penina, thank you so much, Kansime. Good to have you and good to have you here. Make sure that you share this live session back to the group so that they know that we are here and that we can move together. Okay, and that is Nawabi Esther Kajambo. Yeah, Kajambo, Jambo, Jambo. Good to have you. I don't know where Jemima is, but I love on her. Make sure that you send my love to her. And Faida, if you get here, good to have you as well. And Wera Christine, Derek, and there are so many of us that signed on. So we are going to be doing what we call a bit of orientation. We're going to answer some of the questions that you have about the leadership segment, and then we're going to answer the general questions, because as most of you were busy taking pictures. Okay, I saw some of your pictures were really fabulous, and then some of you went ahead to do the branding and the graphics, and it was fabulous. You chose colors, and the branding people did a good job. Okay, Mirembe, good to have you. And then most of you went on to do the videos, and we still have feedback on those videos. So make sure that as you go into this, in case you encounter any sort of question, you do not just keep quiet. Don't just keep quiet. Please throw the question back at me. I will make sure that I actually answer it, or will make sure that we actually deliberate on it. And I told us some time back to open accounts in Clubhouse. I don't know how many of us. So if you are on Clubhouse, please just put your hand up if you're in Clubhouse, so that I can know that you're on Clubhouse, because I want us to start hosting rooms on Clubhouse where we'll be talking about so many people, so many things like mindsets, millionaire secrets, and those day-to-day things that are going to push us mileage, that are going to push us and propel us into our greatness. And this month, I say that I mean, this is a month to actually be audacious, okay? Or April, I named it an audacious April, as in where we take bold risks, where we do the things we never thought we could, okay? And I just want you to be with me on that journey of the audacious April. Make sure that you awaken the giant in you. Make sure that you awaken the greatness in you. Make sure that you find you. Make sure you bounce back. Make sure that you are the greatest person, okay? By the time the month April is going down, I want you to give yourself a challenge, to set yourself a challenge and say, okay, because comfort kills. The moment you get out of your comfort zone, you are going to soar high. You are going to climb high. You are going to make it in bigger ways than you ever thought. Who thought, Desire gave us a testimony and told us that he was retained at a certain school to actually be a counselor, a counselor, and he asked for some money and as a retainer, and they gave him that money, and they were actually even referring him to another person who owned a school. So do you see how great things can happen? Roy Hannah told us she was invited to go and speak at a hospital, and she was asking how much she should charge, and people were deliberating about it. There's so many opportunities that are going to come, but these opportunities are not going to come to sleeping people. These opportunities are not going to come to people that are in their comfort zone. These opportunities are not going to come to people who are fearful, okay? The moment you are fearful and then that fear holds you back, then you are killing yourself, because then you're not going to live your God-given potential. And I think this whole month of March, I've been speaking to a lot of groups of so many groups of women. I was at UN, I was at American Embassy, I was at MTN. I think my last engagement was MTN on the 26th, and we were talking about we were talking about how to translate, how the talk never translates into action, and it was a huge talk, okay? And while they had a debate, and some of them were saying, oh, we challenge the status quo, and others were saying, we don't challenge the status quo, we should go back to being the women that we were, women that could not have bank accounts, women that were just supposed to be an object to a man, or women that did not have dreams, or they had dreams but they had to keep quiet about them. Okay, so this month, whether we are women or men, we have to be able to start to challenge the status quo, because status quo is not just about gender. Status quo is about where we grew up from, the societies, and what the society has to say. If the society told you that you have to go to school and be an engineer and graduate and get married and just live that normal life, then you can challenge that status quo and say, you know, I am going to be a millionaire at 30, okay? Or I'm going to be a millionaire by 25. And I envy the ones that are beginning early. Or I'm going to be a millionaire by this age. Or I will have retired by 35 or 40. Okay? You can make that happen. You can make that happen. But that can only happen outside of your comfort zone. When you push yourself, when you get to know what's trending, what's working, where is my passion, where is my purpose, what can I do on top of what I'm already doing? Can I add other streams of income? So I want us to have all those rooms and open all those kinds of talks. And for the gladiators, this is something to you. Gladiators, make sure that you open up groups, okay? And for Facebook groups, I mean, it's easy. You just open up a group, but make sure that you have a name, and a name that resonates with your niche, okay? So a name, and this even goes to the world changers. But world changers, I want us to first finish all the assignments that we have before we can embark on this one. So the gladiators, you're going to open up groups, Facebook groups, and those groups should be under your niche. So Royhana, your niche could cover the teachers, all the parents, all the people that parents to be, those that want to talk about children, and those that want, you know. And for those of you that are in a marriage and relationship, you can, the singles and the marrieds, you can open up your groups. But when you open up your group, I want you to grow your group, okay? Because then I want you to create a marketing tool for yourself. Aside from the page and your profile where you post the things that you post, you can actually use the Facebook group to start working and to start unveiling yourself. Okay, you can have live sessions in those Facebook groups. You can take questions. You have to be able to show yourself as the credible person, as the person they can trust, and as a person who has value to give to them. Remember, I talked about free content. This is where you give free content, and then people are like, okay, if I want extra, then I can go for their paid content, or I can go for their paid sessions, or I can go for their paid events. So it becomes so easy for you to do this. So you'll give me feedback about that, okay? Okay, so we have JM Kakembo. Good to have you, Christian. Thank you, Jensa. Thank you, and Nababi, Esther, Kajambo, and Mirembe. Hello to you, and thank you for joining us. And Nancy, good to have you as well. Okay, so I want you to. I want this to be quite interactive. I don't want to speak alone, even when I've come with a lot prepared in my mind. For those of you that are just getting into the group, and if you come on, I will see you. I'll make sure that I give you your package. For those of you that are just coming onto the group, I will say it anyway, so that you will go back, you can come back and watch it. So if you are live here with me, just tell me that you're live. And for those that are coming later, they will be able to rewatch this, or to have it on replay. And Sarah, good to have you. Gladiators and world changers. Oh yeah, let's change the world together. And now we have transformers. They are starting to trickle in. And for the transformers, that is the April intake, okay? And what I want you to do is to be able to go and check out all the material that we have done. We're going to have more material going forward, but check out all the material that we have been able to go through. It's a lot of it, but bury yourself in it, create your own speed, and make sure that you do not leave anything unattended to, okay? Make sure you do not leave anything unattended to. Make sure that you don't leave any stone unturned. The thing about this private group, no one can access it. It has all the resources, it has all the videos, it has all the live sessions, and some live sessions are here on YouTube, so you'll be able to go through them. But make sure that you watch all the live sessions. Even the world changers, those that have not gone through. I know there are many of you that have not gone through. And what you do is, whenever you go through a video, leave me your takeaway points so that I know that you watched that video, and so I know that when we are reviewing and evaluating, then I know what you have watched and what you have not watched. Then I know what kind of work we need to do. Okay. Yes. Alan Mirembe, good to have you. I was so surprised when you sent me those videos, but you did well. Okay. And I'm so proud of you. You have a future in this. You have a future. Your confidence and your composure and your calmness, I mean, it's quite encouraging. So I want you to go on. I don't want you to give up. When you get to a time where you can enroll, then we can talk about that. But for now, the videos were really amazing, and you are going to actually have a breakthrough in this kind of work with consultancy, mentorship, and or a counselor or a coach, depending on what niche you will have chosen. We will have maybe a phone session where you will tell me where you feel your heart is and where you feel you want to impact the world and change the world. Okay, so we will have that. Make sure that you remind me of that. Okay, now for many of us have been asking, this is for us that are ongoing. You've been asking, how can I be different? How can I be different? I remember I've talked about standing out, and I've talked about standing out or just being different and being unique. And I've given you certain things to actually look at, okay? And that is why one person will tend to come to you and another will go to another person, okay? So the difference is the way we communicate or the way people look at us and understand us is going to be different. And I said a brand, to create a brand, you're creating a perception, okay? That is why we have so many crooks. That is why we have so many people who are not accredited, who are not credible enough to actually practice, but they are practicing, okay? Because anyone can be fake. You can say, let me fake it until I make it. I didn't say you have to be perfect, but again, you don't have to fake it. You have to have a genuine passion to help people, a genuine desire to help people. Even if you're an entrepreneur, by the way, you cannot open a business and you don't care about it, and then you think that it's just going to work out on its own. It's not going to work out. So if you want to stand out, you are going to know what is unique about you, what you have to offer, and your desire, your passion, and your purpose is unique to everyone else. Okay, so that means that the moment you pursue what is on your heart, the sky is not even going to stand in your way. You are the only person that will stand in your way. Okay, if you want to impact the world, not all of us are going to impact marriage, not all of us are going to impact children, not all of us are going to impact entrepreneurs, but you are going to grow into knowledge. You are going to grow into being versatile. You're going to grow into helping multiple people, not just the people in your niche, because the moment you're widely read, the moment you're widely researched, the moment you are equipped with the right information, even when those that are outside of your niche come to you, they will get a piece of you. They will get something to take away from you, okay? Because then knowledge never goes back. The moment your mind takes on knowledge, it never shrinks back to its original form. It can never. Then that means it's growing big and big and big. Today, in the morning, I was getting out of the bathroom. Should have been around 5:30. So 5:30, my son woke up very early in the morning, and he didn't have a good night because he had a bit of flu and congested nostrils. So I kept up most of the night. Remember, I sleep with my phone so many miles away. I don't want to touch my phone in the night. So here I wake up at 5, and by the time I sleep, I feel like my day is just starting. I have a lot to do. So by the time I wake up, I want to wake up and do everything else, either meditate or do some writing or just sit in quietness. Maybe I take my coffee in quietness before even Tim wakes up, and just give myself that time. But today when I woke up for whatever reason, I think my phone had not charged. So I got my phone, and after getting out of the bathroom, I was like, you know what? I was perusing through. So when I perused through, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to sleep because I slept very late and I didn't have a good sleep. My friend, my mind just told me, "Oh, you have switched us on." The moment you start writing something, because I was like, let me type this sentence so that it does not go away. You know, those morning thoughts are very fresh and they are unique. So I wanted to jot down something. My phone and I started typing. So when I started typing, information kept flowing. And when it kept flowing, so I was like, you know what, let me just switch off this phone, take it back on charge, put it back on the charger, and then go back to sleep. But my mind told me, just, you know, like you'd hear your mind speak, it told me, you have switched us on. You are not going to switch us off. And let me tell you, I got back to bed with my phone. I literally sat and started writing while I was on bed until the time for me to wake up, to get out of bed. I got out of bed and I was still on phone. I put it aside just to go freshen up and put on. And I was like, the mind is a very strong thing. The moment you switch it on, let me tell you, a time is going to come when information looks so sweet and content looks so sweet that you cannot just sleep. It will scream your name. It will invite you. You will feel like giving and giving and giving. Like, I think it's JM who was saying, how are you going to do it? You are on radio. I think Nancy was saying, but I'm listening to you on radio, because 8 to 9 hours on radio. And then she was saying, but how are you going to do it? How are you doing the multitasking? While I was on radio, I was busy texting, okay, and on the WhatsApp group, and then had to, just make a rush call back home and then get on here. So everything, giving back and speaking and giving of yourself, become exciting as you go along this journey. So I don't want you to shy away. I want you to just get involved. I want you to switch your brain on, and I don't want you to switch it off, okay? I want you to be a go-getter. I want you to make more money. I want you to chase after your dreams. I want you to reach out as much as you can. I had here, Major, there is a myth about leadership whereby the great leaders are considered to be prideful, and that holds many from taking up on becoming great leaders. Okay, there's a myth about leadership whereby the great leaders are considered to be prideful, and that holds many from taking up on becoming leaders. Now, that is very true. When you talk about leaders, and there's practicing proper leadership, and then there's people who are just gifted leaders, but again they found themselves in such places where no one could take up the place, and maybe they took up the place, or they just had the natural thing, but they didn't have their skills honed, they didn't have any leadership training, or they didn't have anyone that spoke back at them, okay, or just told them anything. So they grew up arrogant, they grew up knowing that whatever they want is what works, and then no one can say anything. That is being proud, just like you said, and that is being arrogant. Leaders are supposed to have a good attitude. Leaders are supposed to be meek and humble. Leaders are supposed to be people that understand, okay? Leaders are supposed to be people that serve, not people that just back orders and command orders. They are supposed to earn the respect, just like other people earn respect. They're supposed to earn the respect that they get. So you see that when you're a leader, you're supposed to be a guide, you're supposed to be a facilitator, you're supposed to be a builder, you're supposed to be a server. You are not supposed to be the greatest, the guru, the I know it all. You're not supposed to be that. Now, there are people who are like that. And I think during one of the MBA courses that I did, so there was something to do with autocratic leaders, and there were different types of leaders or bosses actually, and so you can see there are those who are authoritative, and then there are those who lead by example, and there are those who are too understanding, and they want to walk in your feet to understand them. They have the empathy, and they can be able to understand your situation. So there are different kinds of leaders, and it's true that because of the bad leaders, we have so many people who are fearing to take on leadership positions. Myself, I fear politics like no man's business. But why do I fear politics? Because we don't have proper leaders in our political spheres. They are arrogant, corrupt, and even when we keep calling and saying, you know what, we should have more Christian leaders, we should have more people come and take up these spaces. But the thing is, people on top of just being misled as leaders, and some people even have gone in and also have been spoiled by the leaders that are already there. But there's always there's already the scramble for power, so that means some people will think, you know what, I don't really want to die, I have children, I have a family, and I just love my life, so I'm better off staying out of the political realm so that I can just enjoy my quiet life and my normal life. Okay, so yes, so many leaders have really done a disservice to so many other people. But again, we can be leaders when it comes to our passions. And now that is the greatest. Because J.M. Kakembo, there are people that are going to follow you. They are going to follow you. There's a lady that sent me a message. For those of you that listened on radio, you had. There's a lady that sent me a message and told me how she left her toxic relationship in 2017. She told me, I've never talked to you. You don't know me. And the last time I watched you, the last time you really spoke to me, you were on TV and you talked about my life literally, and I just felt you talking to me. I left my job, I left my relationship because I knew it was not heading anywhere. Okay, and she says after the so many years, even after leaving, after she was chased out of the house by the man together with her child, she took the child to the mother's place and she went and slept at the hospital floors, and she was a nurse, and she says right now I have bought houses, I am doing well for myself, and I actually even got a man that really loves me, treasures me, and he really cares about me. And so when she said that, there are people, we lead without knowing. So that is your passion. Your passion opens your horizon of leadership, that you're not just an LC leader that leads people in Nangabo district, that you are more than just a leader somewhere in a certain municipality. That means that you are aiming to cover the whole Uganda, that you are going to be a name that is on people's mouths, that they're going to say, if you need that kind of help, go to JM. If you need that kind of help, go to Diana. If you need that kind of help, go to Jensa. She's the only one that can unlock, that can help you get unstuck, that can help you unpack your thoughts and be able to actually think better and clearer about what future you really want for yourself. Now, you will be impacting people. You will be a great leader. And that means that your attitude, that means that you have to be, that is why I decided that since we did not have a leadership unit in this course, that is why I decided and said, you know what, let me look for a world-class guru that is a leadership expert and get a unit that is going to actually beef up this mentorship so that we can get the leadership bit of it. Because like it or not, you are a leader right now, okay? And that leader that is going to grow into into humbleness, into calmness, into knowledge, into proper attitude, and into multiplying effect of creating other leaders. Because when you create the round tables, you'll be creating other leaders. When you take them through the same material that we have gone through, that means they will be knowing that, oh, this is how, and how I wish that we will go back. The change that we want to see in the world, we should exude that change. I want us to go into our villages. I want us to go, when we create the round tables, I want you to call people in your clique. I want you to call people outside of your clique and have a round table of 10 people and talk about leadership. Because let me tell you, everyone in their own category, they are leaders. And if they're not about to be, they're not public leaders yet, they are about to be public leaders. So when someone says, I got this from JM, I got this from Mirembe, I got this from so-and-so, or from Harriet, I got this from so-and-so, it's because you added value to their lives. Maybe they might not come to tell you that, oh my God, you did something. But let me tell you, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there's so many people that you will have impacted that you even don't know the number. People will be meeting you. People will be longing to see you. People will be longing to take pictures with you. People will be longing. They will call you a great woman, a great man. Why? Because there's an impact that you made in their lives. So let's lead with examples, and let's lead with action, and let's lead without being broke. Okay? I don't believe in broke leadership. The reason as to why we have so many problems in our nation is because we have broke leaders. And this is what happens. They are broke both in their pockets, and they are broke even in their mindsets. mindsets. Like they just don't have rich mindsets. They don't have mindsets of abundancy. Because if you have a mindset of abundancy, giving is not a problem. If you have a mindset of abundancy, doing the proper work or doing the roads and giving your people water and talking about electricity, then you go and represent your people in the real world or representing your people. But because you're only thinking about you, most of the leaders are selfish. They go to parliament and sleep. They go to parliament and just to sign. They show up just to get the money. They do not have a passion. Our leaders are not trained. That is why I decided that we should have this unit and make sure that we train leaders right from the grassroots. Now, JM, when time comes and you go to parliament, and my friend Logose, you were already contesting with for women, member of parliament in Butaleja. I mean, maybe God will take you through the next time, but you will be a better leader. And you, as a better leader, you will train. How many other better leaders will you train? Why? Because number one, you have the desire to impact lives, you have the desire to change lives, you have the desire to transform lives, and you have the desire to serve, okay? Because that is your passion, that is your purpose. The reason as to why most of these people go to parliament, go into office, is because, I mean, I am old. I want the national cake. I want to have some of it in my pocket. No wonder some of them have died. No wonder some of them have gone into corners. You know, someone now wagire ekintu kyatakkiririzaamu, but because that is the only ticket that will actually get them to power. That is the only ticket. You will find so many people who are supporting so many and I saw this for a fact because most of them used to talk to me. They were like, you know what? Those that were in our room, they were telling me that, you know what? Most people are taking on the NOP cards not because they love supporting the party, but because they think that so many people are going to take NOP without even looking at the names. They're going to take the umbrella without looking at the names. So there was a lot of panic. The moment you are not chasing after anything, the moment you have done the right things, then you do not doubt the fact that people are going to choose you, because people are not stupid. They are not stupid. They know a person that has made the roads. They know a person that has been with them through the thick and the thin. They know a person that, they know a person of their word. So if they want to give you the second term, they will give it to you. Even when someone comes at night and buys them soap and sand or sugar or whatever, they will eat the money and then they will go take the right person, because guess what? They need the service, okay? So we have not had leaders that are with a servant heart. We have not had the servanthood leadership. We have not had that. And I just pray that we break even in this area and be able to train leaders that are going to change this nation, okay? Leaders that can know I can stay 1 term or 2 terms in power and I can walk away and go mind my business, okay? I do not have to steal in order to be rich. I do not have to rob in order to be rich. I do not have to kill in order to be rich. But I can love on people. I can serve people. And when my time comes, I trust my brain enough that I can operate businesses. I can do anything to make sure that I get sustainable income. Okay. So my dears, there is a lot more that we can do. Harriet, Gladiator as well changes. Okay, I love the testimony after walking away from a toxic marriage. My friend, this lady really, she said it. I have the message with me on phone, and I just told her, glad hearing from you. I don't know, I mean, we've not talked before, but this is amazing because you sound happy. She sounded so happy and so radiant, and she told me after walking away, I thought that was the end of my life. This man did not even come looking for me. So I knew that, by the way, I was even overstaying my welcome. I was staying in a place where I was not needed for so long. And I just decided to break even. And let me tell you, it was a breakthrough. So I want you to hear so many things, so many testimonies like that. Oh my God, I just love this. I thought I was thinking wrongly, but thank you for endorsing my thoughts and just saying that sustainable service delivery to the society. Sustainable service delivery to the society, that is only going to be done by great leaders, leaders that have been taught, and leaders that know that the people they lead are not stupid. They are people that are actually wise, and they're people that know what they want, and there are people that know when you are treating them well and when you're not treating them well. There are people who go into power and then they feel like they are in heaven. You're not in heaven. People are not in heaven, they are on earth. Okay, so when you're given a place to lead in any way, even when you're just leading your home, make sure that you lead with example. Make life down. Make sure that you serve. Make sure that you're selfless. You know, we can be leaders in so many aspects. I remember in my home, I grew up as the firstborn, and my friend, it was the hardest thing to grow up in my home, being a firstborn, because literally it meant that I take care of my siblings. I would wash for them, I would cook for them, I would take all the blame. Everything that happens in the house that either, even if I know who did it, I would take the blame. Like, I was that selfless leader. Even when it comes to serving, I remember I used to serve others and I would remain with nothing. And then it's either my mother would tell me, no, you cannot do that, or maybe come you eat part of my thing like that. But I would want to see my sisters and siblings full before they go to bed instead of me eating. And so many nights I would go to bed even without eating. But I think sometimes my mother would look at me and tell me, Hilda, I knew that you were not this. And I asked her after some time, because one of my sisters, that is Gloria, she follows me, and she gave birth before me. So she had to travel and she had to leave her baby, and she had just given birth. I think it must have been like 2 weeks, and she was programmed already, prepared to travel. And so she called me, and I don't know what she's going to tell me. I walk into her house and she tells me, Hilda, you're the only person I can trust my child with, and I'm leaving this child with you. 2 weeks child. Remember, I don't have a child of my own. I'm into business. And so will I come to Kampala, I nestle bivera byange, and I hustle, a hustling kind of life. So all of a sudden, I take this child. I used to stay in Kayunga by then. So I take this child to my one room that was behind the shop, because I used to operate a shop, and I had one room behind the shop, and I was with Tim. So I did not even ask Tim, because by the time he had even going to Kusubula, I didn't even ask Tim. I just came home with a baby, and he found, luckily enough, he loves children so much. So when he got home, he was head over heels for this baby, and we kept asking ourselves, how are we going to manage in this one room behind the shop? We just don't know anything about children. And my mom kept quiet wherever she was. So later on, when I asked her, I was like, but you knew I had never had a child. You knew I didn't know anything I had no idea about children. And she was like, I know a great leader when I see one. And from childhood, I knew you were a leader. Even when you were not that simple, you were not smiling with everyone, you just kept to yourself, you were an introvert, you were gloomy most of the times. I saw a kind heart in you. Even when everyone else saw a hard heart in you, I saw a kind heart. So I knew you would handle that baby. That's why I kept quiet and minded my business. And let me tell you, baby Daniela is 12 this year. She's 12. I usually take her to be my firstborn, and I mean, it's an amazing experience that I went through the first 4 years of her life, just being with her, with me in the company. I used to have this thing that carry the baby car, the baby, what is it called? Is it baby carrier? I've not used it, not even with my children. I do the normal kind of kueka. They tell me Mami Gongo, and then they have to jump on the back. But I used to have that baby carrier that used to, she used to sit in front here, and then I would go to a taxi, I would have her in a taxi, I would go to town, I would go to those go downs, I would lift my viveras of phones and electronics and look for a Kayunga taxi, and then go back to Kayunga. But it was an amazing moment. But I say that because of leadership, that you will know a great leader when you see one, okay? And so even for you, I want you to be able to question yourself, am I a good leader, okay? When I get to a place of power, when I get to a place where many people are coming to me, when I get to a place where many people, I have to coordinate groups, I have to be able to manage multiple groups. Will I be a good leader, or will I be a dormant leader, or will I be a selfish leader? That is for all of us to actually think about. But remember, personal growth is very key, and that is what we studied this week, and I hope that you watched the video. If you didn't watch the video, please let me know so that we know where to direct you to watch the video of personal growth, okay? Most of our resources are in the private group, okay? So that is where you find it. And if you're new, you make sure that you scroll until until the beginning and make sure that you start as we go on with the live sessions and all that. Okay, so I want us, if you don't have any more questions, that is Saha, good to have you. A sustainable service delivery, yes, that is Sarah, good to have you. Okay, and for those of us that are meeting on Saturday, please make sure that immediately after, because I think Nancy's book launch is ending at around 7, so I have another speaking engagement at Serena, but after Serena, because Serena is not very far from Kingdom Kampala, I'll just be crossing to Kingdom Kampala. I know I will find you going on, but I will make sure that I come through and then finish up the launch, and then after that have our meeting. We're going to have all the booklets. We're going to give out the booklets for the leadership, all the courses in the leadership, all of them. We're going to have them out. So we'll be handing you the leadership. We'll have a brief meeting. We will talk about whatever we need to talk about, and then we can actually go ahead with everything else. Robert Jones, exactly me, the firstborn, but we are the second parents. I'm telling you, exactly. You become the second parent without knowing. And even now, I'm so surprised, and I think my mother was right, because when she kept telling me, I know a leader when I see one, and you are a leader. And I think all my siblings have actually grown through my hands, literally grown through my hands, that even at home, whenever, most of them in my home, whenever, the last one was my brother, he came back from Dubai and things had not gone well. We stayed together, and I mean, by the time he went away, I felt like a part of me was actually tearing away, because he's a man, he has to begin his own life. About my sisters, I think the only people that have not stayed with are people that actually go back to my mother. But again, I just feel like every one of them, of my siblings, has a special place in my heart, because for so long they have only reported back to me and come back to me with complaints and what. And even when they know I am tough, they know that, by the way, they took long to realize that I am tough, but I am very kind at the same time. So most of them, they didn't know what to do with me because most of them, like, I don't know. I don't know whether I should go to her. I don't know. But surprisingly, when they started coming to me and they got to know a different side of me that I also didn't know, the parenting, the soft, the nice, the sweet side of me that was too much for me to even handle, until I was like, yeah, God never gives you something that you can never handle. When he makes you a firstborn, he knows you can carry those burdens, and he knows that you can actually lead with empathy and be able to help so many people. And then if you're firstborn, my dear Robert, my friend, you have to work hard. So, Robert Jones, you owe it to yourself, and you owe it to your siblings, and you owe it to your family to work and set a standard. Okay, set a standard and make sure that that standard is so high that, I mean, no one can never break it. Okay, and this I have seen in my own life. Okay, I have set the bar, and most of them will tell me, you have set the bar so high that now we know we can never settle for less. And indeed, who I am, most of them are coming up, and most of them are working hard. Most of them are doing their best at their jobs, at their places of work, in their community. And it's just amazing, because I said, you know what, if I fail, my siblings are going to fail, because then they are looking at me without, subconsciously, they are looking at me. Okay, so when you entertain negativity, they entertain negativity. When you are a loser, they become losers. Okay, so you can't do that. You can't do that, Mirembe. You can't do that. Not to your people. I have an invite. I think it's for Easter Monday for one of my families, my uncle's family, where I grew up a bit when we had just come into the country. And so it was a tough life going through going through his hands. So his children have invited me to go, or my siblings and my family, to go for Easter Monday. And I remember telling my mother, I don't like going to negative people. I don't like negative energy around me, and I will protect myself and my siblings from anything negative. Okay, so it's my mother who was telling me that, please, let's go, you know, you can never know, just go there for 30 minutes. I'm like, you know what, We all go, we are going to use my car. We get there and I determine how much time we spend there. And when I say we are going, we are all going, because I do not want to leave a sibling of mine that they are going to bring Lugezi on. They would rather bring that Lugezi and I'm the one fighting than anyone that anyone fighting. If you know what family looks like, having big family, that's exactly what happens. Diana, good to have you. Okay. Okay, exactly. I'm the firstborn, but we are the second parents. Exactly. Miriam Bebeneza, your story keeps me strong. I believe if I made it in life, surely I will make it too. Big up to yourself, my mentor. Alan, you are going to make it in bigger ways than you ever thought. I didn't watch the personal growth video. Okay, that is Namgoa Julius. Okay, the personal growth video is actually on the private group for those that enrolled for the mentorship. So you remind me so that we can seal that off, so that we know exactly how to go about that. Diana, oh, you are a firstborn. Yes, you owe it to yourself and to them to work harder. Mirembe Nuru, your story coach is somehow like mine because I'm the firstborn and I am an introvert, but whatever thing I achieve, my mom says she saw it in me. Exactly. And you know how parents can pray for firstborns, as in you always want them to be exemplary, because then you're thinking others are looking, they are emulating without even knowing. Okay, because they say how you train a child is you do what you want them to do, you don't say what you want them to do, because they don't follow what you tell them, they do what you show them. So that means that they follow more by example, okay, and than you telling them to do or ordering them around to do the things that they are supposed to do. But when it comes to confidence, to self-esteem, and to being the highest achievers, we all owe it to ourselves to be the highest achievers. Okay, so for this month I want you to be as audacious as possible. I want you to dream bigger. I want you to dream to look at, if you're employed somewhere, I want you to look at yourself and think, what more streams of income can I have? The extra time that I have, what can I use it for? If you're already on the journey of mentorship and you're like, you know what, I want to be a counselor, I want to be a coach, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be whichever niche that you have chosen, then we get to sit down and we get to talk about what it is, okay, that you can do different. If you're a public speaker and you just want to speak in public, to encourage people, motivate people, inspire people, then we know where to start, okay? Because currently we have free platforms. We can practice until we are perfect. You don't need to be perfect to start. You don't need to be perfect at anything. Most of the people that are perfect right now, they started on job. They started when they were not actually perfect. So I want you to be encouraged, and I want you to know that you can be unique. You don't have to be like everyone else. You can chase after your own passion, after your own purpose, and yours is unique to you. And then you can be unique and stand out. That even when you're just employed, you are unique from what others do, okay? If they can't beat the time, you beat the time. If they can't awaken themselves, if they can't say enough, this is it, I've had it, and I'm getting out of here, sometimes you just need to get tired of where you are in order to propel yourself into the next kind of greatness. So I want you to get angry, okay? I want you to look at the people that have gotten to somewhere and say, you know what, they do not have blue blood. We can actually get there, and make sure that you push yourself as much as possible. If it's to read more, to research more, to actually get more content that propels you in the right direction. And I want us to be able to share in the few remaining minutes. We just have a few minutes remaining, just like 7. I want you to be able to write down what you are currently doing so that I can tell you how to actually better it. What are you currently doing so that I can tell you what to actually do, or how to widen it, or how to better it. Okay, so let's go. Just we have a few minutes. If you have something that you are currently doing, or you are dreaming of doing, or a business you are dreaming of starting, or something that you want to do, I would just want to give this free guidance so that we can know where to start, how to scale, and how to actually leverage a lot more out of it. Okay, this club is really interesting, always taking bullets for the rest. Exactly. And I'm amazed that we have same characters, super coach. Thank you for bringing this journey of accelerated mentorship. That is Mirembe, good to have you. And thank you to first daughter of 19 kids in total. Faida, you're in a different league. Hands up, you're in a different league altogether. I'm the firstborn in a family of 6, okay? But 19? Wow, that's a big family. Okay, so and I think I've had a bit of a sneak peek into a big family when I was staying with my uncle. I think my uncle had more. I don't remember how many children, but they should have been more than 12, okay? And of course, multiple relatives staying around. But my friend, it was not a good setting. It was not a good setting. I was actually telling my mother today, I would go with my clothes and then everyone would share my clothes minus my knowledge, and then I would remain without clothes. And food was a tug of war. Like getting food was a tug of war, because they would put plates and they would put like what, 18 plates on the floor and serve food, and then you have to come and I mean, if the fittest take the food. So I would not be the fittest, and by then I didn't even know Luganda. So most of the times it's my uncle who would come, and maybe I would talk to him in Swahili and tell him that, you know what, either I didn't get food, and maybe he would find a way of getting me food. And so I look back and I'm like, a big family, oh my god, that is a disaster. So I kudos to you, Faida. That must have been you must have been a strong girl while growing up. You must have been a strong girl. 19 kids in total. Wow. I also didn't watch the attitude video. Attitude video, yes, that, yeah, you're right, because with attitude we actually did a live session. Okay, we met and it was a great meeting. Actually, I'm getting a boardroom in town where we're going to have some of these meetings, so that we can have corporate kind of setting to have these meetings, and most of you will be presenting. Most of you are going to, because how will I know that you are going to begin your own roundtables and send me pictures and be able to facilitate 10 people, and you're able to open multiple roundtables? How will I know that if you're not going to practice? So we are going to practice. The only thing is, this Saturday we can't practice because we have a launch. One of us is launching a book, so we have to be able to be in support. But the week after that, believe me, we are going to have a live session, and most of you are going to actually do this. So I'm planning to start up a teenage mentorship where I will be mentoring teenagers, and in many ways. Now, Enid, you are hitting the nail. Now, when it comes to teenagers, you can do this at your at a community level where you stay, whether it's a church, whether it's a family, family setting, village setting, community setting, whatever it is. But believe me, just like I said, open groups on social media. When you are posting on social media, I need to see your content going towards what you want to do. If your interest is to talk to the teenagers, okay, I want you to be able to tailor make content, videos and articles that are actually targeted towards that group, okay, so that the parents can know that if we need help, we can be able to talk to this person, so that they can trust in you, okay. And we have so many 18s, 19s, okay, and 20s, but 18s, 19s on social media that will find your content so appealing, okay. So that means when they have issues, they can, I mean, sometimes I'm surprised. On radio, I have a following of as low as 16. I don't know, but their parents let them even listen to radio. And sometimes they call in and they send weird relationship questions. And you can tell this is a question from a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old. And sometimes the parents call and say that my daughter has a question, and then gives the phone to the daughter to ask. So that means if you strategically position yourself, and the only way you can position yourself is having content that is targeted towards your target group, okay? You can have content that includes all people, and then you have content that targets them. And so place yourself so that the parents can actually trust trust you, and the children themselves can trust you, the teenagers can trust you, that they can open up and they can be able to discuss things with you, even those that they think they can never discuss with their parents. So this is a matter of trust, okay? So if you're planning to start up a teenage mentorship, please go ahead. It's much needed, so needed, okay? Prayer altar, and this is ministry, okay? That is Nalugwa Majorin. You want to start a prayer altar. Now, a prayer altar, definitely, this is a church setting and this is a home setting. You can do a home setting and you can do an online setting. So, Marjorie, instead of just staying in your village or in your community or in your family or in your church to do the prayer altar, do you know amazing people that are having prayer altars on Facebook and on Instagram, and how much following they have? You cannot even know. They have much more following than any celebrity in the world. The people that are doing prayer altars, because who doesn't believe in prayer? People believe in prayer. So that means when people know that they can tune in, that they can be able to pray with you, that you can be able to pray over them, they will actually be drawn to you and they will keep coming. So if you say that, you know what, we are going to have morning prayers at 5. I've seen people do this on social media, and at 5 they are live with their, what you have to do is invest in a good phone and invest in a ring light. Most of us that want to start online things, being a YouTuber and shooting these videos, because I told you video content sells you more than anything in the world. So plan to buy a ring light. I think I will put out some giveaways sometime soon so that I can give away some of these things. But a ring light and a good phone. And a good phone doesn't have to be too expensive. It doesn't have to be to have a crystal clear picture. No, you can have a good enough picture. But again, you're logged in, you're praying, and people get to know you and people get to trust you. That is how you get invited to other churches. That's how you get invited into town churches. That is how you become international. Just imagine a person in Nigeria waking up with you, praying with you, a person in say Liberia waking up with you and praying with you, that you can go global. So do not limit yourself. Okay, and okay, so Nalugwa Fiona Kwagala, good to have you. Now I have a tribe of nieces and nephews, and I have found it easy. Support community youth group. Coach Hilda, kindly appreciate Coach Tris for me. She blew me away yesterday with work. Wow, that is so nice. Tris, kudos to you. Thank you for the good work that you're doing. By the time Faida, you're writing this, that means she's doing quite an amazing job, okay? And with passion and purpose, I believe she can even do more. Tris, we will talk, but I believe you can actually do more. So this passion, my friend Faida, don't stop it, okay? You can start with your nieces, yes, you can start with your nephews, but soon the community will need you. Soon the country will need you, and soon globally your services will be needed. We need hearts of people that are really into service than just satisfying themselves. We need people who are selfless, people that can think about others. How do I support people through COVID? How do I support people through this pandemic? Or how do I support people into personal growth? Those are the hearts that we need. So do not hide, okay? And when you feel this is time for me to propel or to scale or to grow bigger, please grow bigger, because there's nothing good in staying small. So keep challenging yourself and keep getting better. And okay, we have hi Hilda, hi Hadija, and Mesigwa Derek, Madam Bahati, hi, just arrived. Yeah, you arrived late, Derek, but so you can be able to rewatch this session. Hilda, how do I bring out the best out of me? It's like I'm fighting my inner people, okay? So you're saying you are fighting your inner person. Now, that's exactly what happens. JM, remember we talked about how did we state it? Okay, it's really literally fighting. You're saving yourself from yourself, and this is what I said, that our brains are wired for preservation. They are wired to preserve you. That is why when you step on fire quickly, as in microseconds, your nerves are able to communicate with the brain, and the brain is able to command back to the feet that take off the foot from the fire. Now that is a reflex action. Okay, now we have this flight, we have this running away. When you're afraid of something, when you, as in, it comes automatic, we run away from things that are life threatening. Now guess what, you know, the life threatening things, like you hear a bullet and you just run away, and you hear something scary, you just run away. Now that's exactly what happens in our brains. The moment you talk about success, you feel, yeah, I need the success. The moment you talk about hard work, the moment you talk about reading, the moment you talk about research, the moment you talk about waking up early in the morning, the moment you're talking about putting in the work, the moment you're talking about reinvesting and investing, as in, those are painful things. So the brain tells you run. So when the brain tells you run, poor you just obey the brain without questioning. So this is what we have to do. We have to question our damn brains and tell them, you know what, Terera, say, you know, if I want the money, sigenda kuzinoga kumuti, I'm not going to get it from the trees. I have to work. And what do I have to work? I have to get out of my house and look for a job. And what exactly does the brain fear? The brain fears interviews. Okay, the brain, let me tell you, anything that you've ever thought about, no tu yanamu, like you think about exams and you are afraid, the brain is working against you. Your brain is working against you. So this is what you have to do. Disobey your brain. When your brain tells you to sleep instead of to read hard, make sure that you read hard, because it's the discomfort that is going to propel you into greatness. It is not the comfort. So if your brain tells you to back away from everything, the relationship is hard, back away. That course is hard, I cannot finish it. Again, this, I mean, saying sorry or working out a good relationship is bad, back away. Your brain is saving you from everything. But again, let me tell you, just like they say that cowards, they don't die, they live long, but most times they die poor. Okay, why? Because they never risked, because they were cowards. Okay, so that is how our brain wants us to be. We are coward, we run back and hide from life, and then other people are getting the monies that, and then fetukuva mimiro, and you're like, oh, you yazifu namba samize. And then when you look at a woman who is driving, oh, you yazija muba sajja. And then when you look at a woman who has built an apartment or apartments, then you're like, oh, you aina jazi kula. No, aina sabo jazija, aina dogo. And sometimes we give the devil so much credit when actually it is God that has worked through us and told us, quit being comfortable. Okay, pulling up a blanket. No, wake up early in the morning. There's a time I told you that I took a job that necessitated that I woke up every day at 4 a.m. And I took up a job not because I wanted money. And this is what happens. I took that job, and I remember going, these people told me that, you know what, we have a circle system in this workplace, and so you can save any amount of money. So I went to the person that was dealing with the circle. In my heart, I was like, you know what? I don't need this money. It's not like this is the money that I survive on. So I might as well keep this money in their circle. So I go to the to the receptionist, and I tell her to give me a form. I get the form, and then I sign. And then she tells me, okay, so how much do you want to save per month from your salary? And I'm like, I want to save 5 million. So I filled in 5 millions. So this receptionist was like, you want to save 5 millions? I was like, yeah, as in from your salary, you want to save 5 millions? And I was like, yeah, what's wrong? Like, I just didn't click what she was. Okay, so I got to understand later that around that workplace, they were not earning that kind of money. But me, I was actually saving, what was that? It was like three quarters, because I was earning triple that amount. And so I was like, okay, I can have that 10 million in the bank, and then I can save in their circle of 5 millions. And then I can always survive with my work and everything else that I do, because I do a lot of things. I have streams of income. So, but what I wanted to actually bring to us is, I took on a discomfort because I wanted to teach myself something, a discipline of waking up very early. And I would drive out of home every day at 4:30 a.m. just to go out. And I remember remember it made a lot of sense to me. It changed a lot of things. And I was able to accomplish so many things with my morning hours because then I had time on me. Instead of sleeping to around 8 or sleeping to around 9 because I'm self-employed, because I can get to office at midday, because I can do anything that I want, or I can decide to work from home. I was like, no, I have all this all this luxury, but how about I cultivate a discipline, a habit in me, a habit that is going to make me a winner, give me more time and accomplish a lot more things. And it did wonders. So let's get out of the comfort. Okay. Hilda, okay. Okay, Madam Hilda, how do I bring out the best in me? It's like I'm fighting my own inner person. Fight that inner person until that inner person has no voice to tell you to stay in the comfort zone. Until your brain knows. You know how your brain can know? But I can know that, Hadija is just stubborn. Even if you tell her to go to bed, she will not go to bed. She will read, or she will research, or she will create content, or she will sell an extra item, or she will be marketing her business. She'll be doing this. Let your brain know that now you are put to. And let me tell you, the brain will leave you alone. And from there on, you will have cultivated a habit of excellence and a habit of making more money and being successful. Okay, and that is most of my seekers are Luganda. Can I do videos in Luganda? My dear, do videos in Uganda. The mass market is huge, very huge. Actually, it's the biggest in Uganda. The people, Luganda speaking people, are more than any class in Uganda. So that means that, and even people who are not in that social class, or in the mass market, understand Luganda. I mean, I understand Luganda. People who live in Kololo understand Luganda. People who live in Muyenga understand Luganda. CEOs of this country understand Luganda. Okay, it's a few people who don't understand Luganda. So go ahead and do your Luganda, but do good Luganda, do modern Luganda, and make sure that you're cutting across. Okay, you're not just speaking to a small group of people. Spread yourself. Okay, and then the inner person. Yeah, yes, Coach Hilda, I have something cooking up soon to deliver. I will book in with you. Okay. Okay, chat. Still working on sustainability and balancing expectations. Many for your blessing. Many. Okay, wow. That's awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait for us to share that. And this class officially closes now. Okay, but I am so glad that we're able to have this time together. Can you imagine? I've gone beyond an hour, but it was awesome chatting. It was awesome being here with you, and it was awesome knowing that we can share knowledge. In case you have any questions, please forward it to my number 0757 117 on WhatsApp, 0757 117. Let's grow together and let's make this world a better place. Let's change people's lives as we change our own lives. Don't wait until you are perfect to do something. Let perfection meet you on the way, but before it even meets you, you will have hit your goals and you will be great. Okay, a blessed night, Dr. Hilda. Gladiators, world changers, and now we have the transformers. So good to have all of us here, and from me to you is a good night.